Auckland International Airport, 9 a.m., November 13. A yellow Boeing 707 freighter lumbers to a parking space on the tarmac. About the same time the plane lands, in a stadium not 10 miles from the airport, men race the clock to build a giant outdoor stage. The yellow plane's been chartered for 5 weeks by English rock band Deep Purple, cost $250,000.
Music is going a strange way at the moment. English groups, it's either one thing or another. We'd like to collect hundreds of different musical ideas into our act, blending it into the number to get more interest musically.
I understand that you all moved into a house together, kind of so you could live together and work together, but it didn't work out. What?
It was haunted.
The house was haunted.
Yeah, sure. No, you really.
And you really believe it was haunted?
I know it was haunted. I saw with my own glasses.
Listen, hush, hush. I thought I heard her calling my name. Now hush, hush. She broke my heart, but love just seemed. Now hush, hush. Thought I heard her calling my name. Now hush, hush. I need her loving and I'm not to blame now.
Happened in London. It happened in the Royal Albert Hall, the world premiere of a new musical event. These scenes of unrestrained enthusiasm took place in London. And for the thousands of people who packed the Royal Albert Hall that night, it was a unique occasion, one which brought together two worlds of music, symphony and pop.
sing. I'm a speed king. See me home.
Like it, Anne?
Well, quite honestly, Dave, I think it's a bit too rowdy for me. It's more your kind of thing than mine. You seem to need pop music like a drug.
This is the border of Devon and Cornwall, about 6 hours' drive from London. It's the middle of winter, so there's not a tourist to be seen, and the beaches and hills look deserted. But for the last fortnight, these hills have been shaken by the sound of one of England's top groups, Deep Purple.
Purple von Fireball die Nummer No, No, No.
Ihr hört Deep Purple mit Fireball.
Und jetzt kommen Deep Purple auch live im Studio mit...
Wenn das so weitergeht. Ohne Polizei und so ein Zeugs könnten die Karten billiger sein. 5 bis 6 Mark statt 10. Ich wünschte, ihr hört auf mit dem Krach. Denn er ist nicht fair gegenüber denjenigen, die zahlen und auch nicht fair gegen uns.
It's not nice for the people who do pay their money and it's not nice for us.
Ladies and gentlemen, Deep Purple.
Just about a couple of years ago now, we were in Montreux in Switzerland recording the Machine Head album. And this song here tells the story of most of the things that happened while we were out there, particularly the burning down of the casino the night we were there watching the show, and all the other affiliated hassles that we had over the period of time that we were there. Smoke on the walls of this one.
We were trying to make a record without using a studio. That was the basic reason we were there. We wanted to make a recording in a live venue, basically for the sound. And the casino in Montreux, in Switzerland, if you were doing a tour of Europe, you'd play there. And the guy who was organising it, Claude Nobbs, said, don't put your gear in yet, because there's one more show to go before you can do it. It's a matinee tomorrow afternoon, Frank Zappa and the Mothers, 3 o'clock. Do you want to go? Sure. And about an hour into the show, someone fired a flare gun into the ceiling, which is made of, it was like a false ceiling bamboo. Literally within 5 minutes or so, the place was an inferno.
You know, we all came
took hours. In fact, it burned all the afternoon, all the evening, and the next morning we went there, still smouldering. You know, it was a huge fire. And it's amazing that no one got hurt.
Nice to be here. We can have a little bit more atmosphere on the lights, we appreciate it.
The Japanese company said, we want to make a live album. And live albums in those days weren't the thing to do. You know, they had a budget kind of feel about them. So they insisted that they wanted to do it, and we said, okay, we'll do it on certain conditions. A, our engineer goes over to record it. B, we bring the stuff back, we mix it, and if we don't like it, you don't put it out. And C, it only comes out in Japan. And we recorded 3 concerts, 2 in Osaka and 1 in Tokyo. And most of the material from Made in Japan comes from the second night in Osaka. Because the first night, we were on stage like 4 puppets, you know, we're being recorded. But by the second night, we'd kind of relaxed to it.
We'd done about as much as we could do with that kind of rock, as far as I could see. My idea was that there was far too much talent in the band for it to remain static. I thought we were compromising ourselves. I thought we were losing our integrity musically. And I thought it was important that we changed slightly our attitude to what we were doing. I'm still very proud of the music we made. But if I look at the albums that we made, I can see a formula to a certain extent. The first track on an album would always be a fast rock and roll number. And then it would go through. I mean, I was very pleased with the music. It was good, and I was not in any way ashamed of it. But I felt there was a time to add a new dimension to it, or to adopt a slightly different approach without losing our identity, but just naturally progressing. Otherwise, we'd have faded away. And this is why nobody really wanted to do that, so this is why we left.
The year before Ian left, we did 6 American tours. It was ridiculous. And when Ian did quit, I really thought that was the end of it. And then one of our managers, John Coletta, showed me a copy of Billboard. We had 11 different entries, singles, albums, back albums. It was exploding. And that year, 1973, we were the top album-selling artists in the United States. And he said, you can't stop now. So well, we just did. We lost our singer and our bass player. I mean, you know, how much more final can that get? He said, replace them.
All I want to say to all of you is thank you very much. You did great. Thank you for everything you've given us in Japan. This is the last night, the end. God bless you. Thanks a lot. Good night.
Wide World in Concert.
Good evening and welcome to In Concert. Right now we're watching English rock group Deep Purple arrive by private airplane to perform at the California Jam. On April 6th, 200,000 nice people assembled at the Ontario Motor Speedway in Southern California to enjoy each other and the music of 8 fine rock bands. Tonight, In Concert is proud to focus on the stars of the show, Deep Purple. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride as In Concert takes you to California Jam.
Are you all smiling? You look fucking great from here. You really do.
Good evening, really nice to be here. I want to just have a couple of words with you before we carry on.
Right.
You know me, you know Richie, you know Ian Pace, but there's 2 people you don't know. I'd like you to welcome them to California. The guy used to be with Trapeze, bass and vocals, Glenn Hughes. Let's hear it for him. There you go, that's nice. And a guy who's never been to California before. He's loving every minute of it. Make him welcome, David Coverdale. Okay, commercial's over.
You have a reputation for being the loudest band in the world. Are you happy with this?
No. It's wrong. There's so many other bands that play loud all the time, whereas we use a lot of light and shade in the music. When it's quiet, it's quiet. When it's loud, it's loud.
Well, certainly we'd like to think of ourselves as a vaguely aggressive band. I mean, we're not that interested in being anything else.
In terms of...
The other guys say that your entrance to the band along with David's has created a younger image and a younger trend and is starting to change the direction of Deep Purple, for which everybody's happy. How do you feel about that?
I can't disagree. I just get off on playing in the band, you know. We just get off musically. We don't put out this little teeny bopper image, as you'll see, but we do create a lot of energy on stage.
Yes, of course it's changing direction because of the new ideas that are in the band. Let's just say at the moment we're halfway around the bend in the change of direction.
I just felt that the band was becoming too bluesy, not bluesy, but kind of funky. And I don't like funky soul music. I like blues, I like classical music, hard rock, medieval rock, but I don't like funky blues. And that's when I said, I'm off.
Thank you! This is a song for you all, everybody. A song for everybody. This is a song called You Keep On Moving.
Deep Purple's had quite a few changes. Today's lineup: John Lord, Ian Pace, Tommy Bolin, Glenn Hughes and David Coverdale.
We've been really lucky with this set of 5 people in that it's come together in a matter of a few months as opposed to like nearly a year for the old bands. So we're all very happy and very confident and very proud of the album we've done.
When Richie Blackmore left, was it a shock or had you known it was coming?
Well, we knew it was coming, but it was a shock when he told us. It was like mid-tour, you know. And we'd planned another album at the end of that tour, which was in Europe. And everybody was all like getting into the whole thing and getting quite excited about the way things were going. Then, bang, out of nowhere, it came, I'm off.
How's an American shaking up into what's basically, you know, an English sort of band?
It's, I didn't think, to be honest, at first I didn't think it would work. I really didn't. But we had a jam, and within the first minute or two, you know, I could tell that they were into the same things I was into, kind of R&B, funk, kind of. And I think they were hunting for freedom, which I don't think Richie gave them, you know. So like they were so open to the whole thing, it turned out lovely. Otherwise I wouldn't be.
Ian Pace and I had both decided we'd had enough. We came off stage one night. I think it was the Liverpool Empire we were playing, and they just looked at each other and said, you know, I can't do it anymore. That was in 1976, March of '76.